So, hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to be talking about endometrial hyperplasia. Okay. So, first of all, what is endometrial hyperplasia? It is as you can see, it is a condition characterized by proliferative patterns of glandular and stromal tissues, and it is associated with prolonged, profuse, and irregular uterine bleeding. मतलब कि एक चीज़ जो endometrial hyperplasia में याद रखनी है वो ये कि it is characterized by proliferative pattern of glandular and stromal tissues. Okay, so it is characterized by proliferative patterns of glandular and stromal tissues and is commonly associated with prolonged, profuse and irregular uterine bleeding in the menopausal or postmenopausal women. मतलब कि जब भी आपको endometrial hyperplasia पूछा जा रहा है ना, तो आपने एक बात याद रखनी है कि this is it is characterized, जो characteristic है वो ये है कि it is a proliferative condition of the glands as well as the stroma, and it manifests as this severe bleeding in either menopausal or postmenopausal. मतलब टेंथ में जो आपकी menopausal या postmenopausal women आएंगी और वो severe prolonged और prolonged profuse और irregular uterine bleeding के साथ आएंगी, that is endometrial hyperplasia. और as a physician पता होना चाहिए कि this is caused by proliferative patterns of the glandular and stromal tissues. Okay, so why does this happen? Why does this happen in menopausal, postmenopausal women, and why not in young women? The reason is prolonged estrogen stimulation unopposed with any progestational activity. मतलब कि कहीं भी progesterone की activity नहीं है, मतलब but we have this prolonged estrogen stimulation. Okay, and उसके अलावा इसकी भी कुछ conditions भी हो सकती हैं, जिस तरह के स्टीवन लेवेंथन syndrome और उसके अलावा कुछ tumors, but mostly it is physiological. Endometrial hyperplasia is physiological and it is associated with age. Okay, so there are this classification of the endometrial hyperplasia which is simple and complex, और हम complex को further दो part में divide करते हैं, without atypia and with atypia. So simple hyperplasia is usually without atypia. Atypia means कि cell की morphology change नहीं हो रही, and it is also known as cystic glandular hyperplasia, right? So basically the first one is सिंपल हाइपरप्लेजिया, राइट? सिंपल हाइपरप्लेजिया सिंपल है, इसमें कोई एटीपिया नहीं है. देन वी हैव कॉम्प्लेक्स हाइपरप्लेजिया, उसमें विद एटीपिया है और विदाउट एटीपिया है. तो जो विदाउट एटीपिया है उसको हम कहते हैं नॉन एटिपिकल, और जो विद एटीपिया है उसको ऑफ कोर्स जो हम एटिपिकल हाइपरप्लेजिया कहेंगे. सो अच्छा, जो सिंपल हाइपरप्लेजिया है उसको जिसको हमने सिस्टेड ग्लैंडुलर हाइपरप्लेजिया कहा, उसमें क्या होता है कि एंडोमेट्रिया के अंदर बहुत बड़े बड़े ग्लैंड्स होते हैं विच आर सिस्टिकली डायलेटेड एंड दे आर लाइंड बाय एट्रोफिक एपिथेलियम. आई एम सॉरी, वेट, आई एम जस्ट गोना move this right here so upload देख सकें. Okay, so the book I'm using is basically Harsh Mohan's. It is Harsh Mohan's textbook of pathology. You can also use Robbins, but I personally like this book because the reason is the headings are made and everything is just very nicely done. इस तरह की physiology में हमारे पास Dighton थी और वो JP थी, तो I used JP throughout my year and it was an amazing book and got very good marks with it. So that's why I used Harsh Mohan. But of course जो main book है Robin वो भी काफ़ी अच्छी है, वो भी use कर सकते हो, but the concept is same, right? So if you want to revise it, you can do it with me. So simple hyperplasia without atypia. So in this form, it is presence of variant sized glands, again, which are large and cystically dilated, and they are lined by atrophic epithelium. And then to इसके अंदर atypia नहीं है, so mitosis are scanty, and the stroma is sparsely cellular and edematous. Okay, okay. So उसमें मैं आपको इसकी diagram दिखा देती हूँ. That's very nicely made over here in this book. Okay, right around here, you can see that this is the diagram of the simple hyperplasia without atypia. Okay, so I don't know how to show this to you guys, but yeah. So this is simple hyperplasia without atypia, and what is happening is dilatation of glands हुई हुई है, मतलब कि बहुत ज़्यादा gland dilated हुए हुए हैं. साथ हमारे पास जो है they are lined by atrophic epithelium. Okay, so cystic dilatation of glands are very much dilated in this sort of epithelium, which is simple hyperplasia without atypia. So there is cystic dilatation of glands, and then the stroma is compact and scanty. तो बहुत scanty stroma है, and then also nuclear stratification is again the same as atrophic epithelium, and also there is no atypia in this one. ठीक है, इसमें कोई atypia नहीं होता. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है जो हमने पढ़ी थी, क्योंकि अब आगे हम बात करेंगे atypia की. Okay, so these two are complex. ये complex types हैं, without atypia and with atypia. So let's now move to the complex one. So this is a complex one, complex hyperplasia without atypia. In this basically it shows distinct proliferative patterns. अब इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि cells number में increase हो रहा है, उसमें हमने जाता है cells the glands are cystically dilated and there is scanty mitosis, there is no atypia, right? But the glands are dilated and the stroma is very scanty, but in this case the glands are increased in number, they exhibit various irregularities in size and shape. That's why it's called like complex, ठीक है ना, जिसमें वो glands की सिर्फ वो dilatation नहीं हो रही बल्कि उनका number और उनकी चीज़ें increase हो रही है, उनकी regularity भी change हो रही है. There are multiple layers of tall columnar epithelial cells with large nuclei which have not lost basal polarity and there is no atypia. So yeah, the basal polarity is not lost; it is retained in this sort of hyperplasia. The glandular epithelium is thrown into papillary in folds or outpouchings into the distant stroma. Basically, there is overcrowding and complexity. So this is sort of main strength आपने कुछ लेके जाना हो इसमें से, तो वो ये है कि there is overcrowding and complexity in this structure and there is no atypia. Okay, so overcrowding and complexity without any sort of atypia. The overcrowding and complexity in this one, and basically it's thrown to papillary infolds and there is denstoma. Third one, complex hyperplasia with atypia, right? So that is going to be the third one. इसके अंदर हम कहेंगे कि इसका कुछ ऑथर्स ने डिफरेंट नाम जिस तरह के एंडोमेट्रियल इंट्रा एपिथेलियल नियोप्लेसिया या कार्सिनोमा इन situ का है. कॉम्प्लेक्स हाइपरप्लेसिया विद एटिपिया एंड सिंस देयर इज एटिपिया इन दिस, ठीक है ना, इसको कुछ लोगों ने endometrial intraepithelial hyperplasia भी कहा है. It is characterized with the presence of atypical cells. Again, इसकी extent तो हो सकती differ हो सकती है, but basically the main structure in this one is कि इनके अंदर loss of polarity होगी. There will be large size irregular hyperchromatic nuclei, prominent nucleoli and altered nucleocytoplasmic ratio. So first of all अगर हम बात करें ना इसका याद करने का आसान तरीका है, सबसे पहले जो nucleocytoplasmic ratio है वो alter हो जाएगी, ठीक है. और न्यूक्लिया जो हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा hyperchromatic हो जाएंगे. There will be loss of polarity. So there's ये जो nucleus समझो, this is a normal nucleus and there will be loss of polarity. Nucleus will not move to this side and it will be very hyperchromatic, very densely colored and there will be altered ratio of it. उसके अलावा न्यूक्लियाई बहुत प्रोमिनेंट है इसका, जिसकी वजह से वो हाइपरक्रोमेटिक हो जाएगा और इसका लार्ज साइज हो जाएगा. लेट मी जस्ट मेक इट लार्जर एंड इरेगुलर. So as you can see, this is larger, irregular. It has hyperchromatic nuclei with dense hyperchromatic nuclei with dense nuclei, and also their size is increased and it is irregularity. One thing that I forgot to mention was that in simple hyperplasia, the minimal risk is just 1%. जबकि जो कॉम्प्लेक्स हाइपरप्लेजिया है उसके अंदर जो ए टिपिकल है उसके अंदर 3% रिस्क है और जो टिपिकल है उसके अंदर 3% है और जो ए टिपिकल है उसके अंदर 20-25% रिस्क है कि इट कैन डेवलप इनटू अ ट्यूमर. सो दैट्स ऑल फॉर endometrial hyperplasia and I will hopefully see you guys in the next video. Again, इसमें I just want to show you guys the risk factors. So they are obesity, menopause, PCOS, ERT estrogen replacement, HRT estrogen replacement therapy. So mainly आपने याद रखनी है obesity, menopause, estrogen replacement therapy, and any PCOS. Nulliparous women, it is more common in them because of the various cycles and various various cycles and various anovulatory cycles, various ovulatory cycles. जितने cycles ज़्यादा होंगे उतने chances ज़्यादा होंगे कैंसर डेवलप होने के and hyperplasia होने के. So again, these are the वो जो हमने जो picture थी that was of course diagrammatically represented, but this is the real picture. So as you can see in this case, what is happening, the glands are very dilated and there is compact stroma which is like very dense, right? And what is happening over here, there is atypia. So this one was without atypia, this one is with atypia. You can see the cells have completely lost their polarity. ठीक है, पोलैरिटी लॉस्ट हो गई है, बेसल पोलैरिटी उनकी ख़त्म हो रही है. उसके अलावा एज यू कैन सी देयर इज़ वेरी न्यूट्रिएंट सेलुलर रेशियो जो है वो डिस्टर्ब है, सेल का साइज इंक्रीज हो रही है और उनकी शेप भी इतनी इरेगुलर. सो ऑल ऑफ दीज स्ट्रक्चर्स आर हैपनिंग, ऑल ऑफ दीज चेंजेस आर हैपनिंग. Okay, and then we have the again proliferative epithelium hyperplasia without atypia, with atypia, and then it leads to the carcinoma of the uterus if not treated. And prognosis, ये इसकी different stages हैं. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully with a different topic. Till then, goodbye.